Hello and welcome to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be the second game of this best of 3 from the WCA China 2015 Group A Qualifiers. That is a mouthful, and of course, like I should say 80% of my Warcraft videos have an extremely long video title, and like every time I upload it keeps bugging me. Maybe you should have a shorter one, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know what kind of info I need to cut out to appease that, but I'm pretty sure most of what I write is relevant. Yep. Let's go off on a little tangent here. I mean, the best of 8's already started for China. I think it's ended. I don't know. I didn't keep track in the past 5 days, honestly. And I still haven't touched the Legacy of the Void beta for StarCraft 2. I might do that. I might actually just record my first game and see how I do. I'll probably play Protoss and spam a lot of those new units. The one from the barracks where you can harass very easily, I guess, with that delayed blink ability. I think that would be pretty entertaining, even though it's gonna be somewhat how should I say it? Meh? Yeah, pretty meh, because it is StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 has been on decline for a very long time. Sadly, it does seem like StarCraft 2 is heading towards the Warcraft 3 state, but maybe with the Legacy of Void, things will maybe go on uphill for a little while and then go back down. Yeah. Death Knight out for XiaoKai, who is 0-1. XiaoKai spawning in as the light blue undead in the bottom right, Tara spawning in as the purple undead in top left. Map is on Total Rock, and yeah, both players same colors. Tara did go for the same thing. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Even bringing on a third ghoul to actually participate and contribute into that first creep camp. Interestingly enough, XiaoKai is looking a lot more undead. He is going for skeleton harassment. Yes, one of those very disappointing looking harassments of all time. Like, this kind of harassment I always laugh at because I just don't know or don't see that many successes with. Hell, Tara's even got a Nubian tower out, so acolytes are pretty much safe unless XiaoKai is willing to lose a TP scroll and maybe go for an acolyte. Yep, he has to use these skeletons somewhere. Probably steal Tara's camp here. Yep, past 2 games he does seem like he likes stealing Tara's camps. Might not even just be Tara, it might just be every single player that he versus. Yeah, don't really remember Romantic's matchup too much. We have a lot of ghouls out for XiaoKai, or at least more than usual. Tara's going for some skeleton harassment as well. Doesn't seem like he has much to worry about. His acolytes can just heal up on the blight, so yeah, not that much of a worry for himself either. 4 ghouls, that is weird. Normally players go for 3 ghouls because that, I guess, is enough. I don't really understand, or I'm not really that knowledgeable in how people have found which is the most optimal number for what. But yeah, that extra ghoul might be a little weird in the later run, but we shall see how much that will affect XiaoKai. Alright, XiaoKai is still going for the harassment, and it does seem like he is, you know, resulting in a much more successful harassment than I would have ever expected, because he was able to kill an acolyte, and that is important in itself, because that Uh, that does not cancel the Halls of the Dead, but that will delay the Black Citadel. Yes. Very, very good for XiaoKai. This could be the game's swinging factor already. Although it's just an acolyte, that's like a couple of seconds delay between the Black Citadel and your opponent's Black Citadel. I don't know, but yep, Tara did take quite a bit of time actually starting that tier 3. That might be just one of those things that factors into the end of this game. We shall see though. Tara does have a Crypt Fiend up on his opponent. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I bashed on like the undead skeleton harassment so much, and then XiaoKai just goes ahead and does that. Talk about Caster's Curse, but I really hate that when that happens. It happens all the time, and then I have to sulk about it afterwards. It's just so bad. Level 2 Death Knight, level 2 Death Knight, so both players pretty much even in the heroes aspect. XiaoKai will begin his Lich once again. The timing on those slaughterhouses is very similar to game 1. Early slaughterhouse for Tara, which will end up in a later Lich. But XiaoKai, yeah, that early Lich didn't really end up in a victory. So I guess that's not the only factor that is accounted for. Alright, Watcher Ward, Watcher Magi is being fought over for, but Tara is able to claim that for himself. And yeah, XiaoKai pretty much says that there's no point. Might as well just go for another creep camp. Hell, you should at least get your own Watcher Ward camp, because that's like a huge amount of the map just blind for you. Meanwhile, the opposite end, your opponent has so much vision without even using any units, so yeah, Watcher Wards, pretty important. Hell, any wards, important in itself. Gargantuan Sea Turtle Camp will be cleared out. Anything's good. Probably not a greater mana potion, healing potion, invulnerability potion. Any's good, and we are gonna have the greater mana potion. Yikes, greater healing potion for the Lich. But of course, to maximize that, the Lich would be have to be at like maximum 25 health, and then use that 500 hit point healing. But of course, that's like super risky, and you'd never want to do that anyway, unless you give it over to the Death Knight, which would make a lot more sense because the Death Knight can't heal himself. Meanwhile, the Lich can get healed by the Death Knight. So yep, there we go. We are gonna have that potion being swapped over. Don't sell it, please, because that could potentially be a game changer. I remember like very vividly, despite my horrible memory, I remember very vividly that one player got so many good items. Claws of Attack, Aura items, double attributes. Meanwhile, the opponent didn't have much, but did have a healing potion, and you know, despite being down in items, just being able to keep, you know, your vital hero alive for a lot longer than usual did very much swing the game. I remember that so vividly. I do remember it was a Lich that used the greater healing potion. Okay, here we go. We are gonna have Tara retreating here. This was, I guess, the mistake for XiaoKai last game. Instead of just receiving the damage and fight on, just ran away and lost a unit regardless. So yeah, it didn't look too good for Tara. I'm not sure if he was able to win that fight anyway if he was gonna fight. He is down on Crypt Fiends, and he did just pull another creep camp. Destroyer's already out for for XiaoKai. We already have an A-bomb out for Tara though, so this was kind of the difference in game 1 anyway. Let's see how this will end up resulting. Tara is going to pick off one of XiaoKai's spiders. We are going to have another one maybe being picked off, but Tara is going to be forced to use that TV scroll on his Death Knight. Lich, on the other hand, will be forced to use an invulnerability potion. I guess a fairly even trade in terms of units, but being forced to use that TP scroll is not very fun, because that is a lot of gold to replace. $47 versus 45. Yeah, both players should be taking advantage of the sacrificial pit. So far, Tara is not. I believe this did happen in game 1 as well, where XiaoKai did get the earlier shade and lich, but the shade's what I'm talking about. Is that TP scroll? That is a TP scroll. Oh, that's why, because oh, I got so mixed up on the colors here. Tara wanted to creep camp, he did, but XiaoKai came from behind and forced another TP scroll. Yikes, that's bad. Pretty much like approximately 2 scrolls within a minute. That's not good. He did get a Sobi mask, which is on the Lich, so a lot more Frost Novas left and right. But that is pretty bad. Ogre camp is going to be started and most likely taken out, but like XiaoKai has that shade still. Spots another TP scroll. Yay, another TP scroll to be burned. Let's see if that is going to happen. Frost Nova onto one of the Fiends there. Silence onto the Death Knight before any sort of Death Coil shenanigans. Very nicely done from XiaoKai, taking advantage of like the somewhat questionable decisioning, and there we go with the Greater Healing Potion, able to save that Death Knight in the last second, but it does seem like Tara able to turn things 180 here, forcing XiaoKai to be the one to retreat, despite being the one that started the fight. Who would have thought? But as you can see, the cause was pretty much obvious, just 100% tunnel vision onto that Death Knight, forcing the TP scroll out, and Tara's army, well, it wasn't really the heroes being targeted, it was the army, and that was pretty important in itself, because even though you lose heroes, you'll still have an army, but if you lose army, then not much your heroes can do. Shade is going to be spotted once again by a dust. Tara doesn't have sacrificial pit for himself. I would say that is the only difference between this and last game, aside from like the opening minutes as well and what happened in the mid game. Death Knight very close to level 4. His counterpart is already at 4. Meanwhile, XiaoKai's Lich is 3 and Tara's is 3, but a lot more in that 3. Very close to 4. Dark Ranger is favoring Tara by a bit. Alright, so here advantage is, I would say, clearly towards actually no, wait. Oh, I got the names mixed up. XiaoKai has 333. Tara has 432. Alright, let's see how this will turn out to be. We're gonna have another TP scroll being forced here from Tara, and he will run away. I'm not sure if he was able to pick up the item from the Ogre Lord. He was able to do that, and that is going to be plus 12 attack from those claws of attack. I don't know why the Death Knight has a clause. He should be giving over that over to the Lich. Sober Mask I understand because you want to be spamming out those death coils, but yeah, I definitely did not know about the clause of attack. It was just given over to the Lich anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. 4 destroyers for XiaoKai, only 2 for Tara. Yep. I would say hero advantage towards XiaoKai anyway, so let's see how this will end up being. Lots of Crypt Fiends dying. Yeah, not much healing actually going on. 51 versus 65. There is a clear advantage for XiaoKai, and he did deal a boatload of damage onto Tara's Death Knight. Alright, fighting on Blight, fighting in home court advantage. TP scroll is going to be once again used by the Death Knight. That's like almost 1300, maybe even more. 1300 gold just spent in TP scrolls alone. That is not a good sign. Level 4 for the Lich, which doesn't really mean much because that only leads to either level 1 Frost Armor or level 2 Dark Ritual. Death Coil not really hitting in time. Those destroyers are crazy because there are not that many spiders out to whip them down, nor enough to actually focus fire them down. Seems like this game is definitely favoring XiaoKai this time around. Invulnerability onto Tara's Lich, but with the constant healing from the Death Knight, I don't really see how this will end up in Tara's favor. Lich is also down. That should be GG. Tara's Death Knight's almost 5 himself, but constant silence is really making him kind of worthless. I have no idea what the destroyers are doing right now for Tara, but yeah. Surely this is GG. I can't imagine why this game is going a lot longer than normal. Death Knight taken out, and that is going to be GG from Tara. So we're 1-1 in this series, so another game. Oh god. I'll see you guys again next time. Take care.